Okay, Brittany, can you give us the rundown of the simple oil change?
Oh, the simple oil change. Well, the oil change itself may be simple, Dave, but there's some pretty important things to know about preventing oil sludge.
Okay, I don't want to disrespect the oil change, so tell us more about oil sludge.
Well, oil eventually starts to turn into jelly. And I mean literally, petroleum jelly. And that sludge clogs up oil passages and keeps oil from getting to some areas of the engine, causing parts to wear out prematurely. And that means expensive engine repairs.
So that's why you need to change the oil and oil filter on schedule to get old oil out before it turns to sludge.
Exactly. Your manufacturer will have a recommendation for how many miles you can go in between oil changes. But they'll also usually have a number of months between recommended oil changes. And that's because detergents and other additives in the oil break down over time.
Okay, so help us out with the recommended oil change intervals.
Well, it can get complicated, but your owner's manual will have a recommendation for time and mileage. You need to remember that it's based on using recommended weight of oil. And if your vehicle came from the factory with synthetic oil, the recommended intervals assume you continue to use synthetic.
Okay, I hadn't thought of that. Now, what about how you drive? Does that affect your oil change interval?
Yeah, how you drive can be a big effect. Most owner's manuals will have a list of driving conditions that are harder on your vehicle. Things like stop and go driving, short trips, driving in very hot or very cold weather, heavy loads, and towing. If some of your driving fits this, you may need to change your oil and do other maintenance on a shorter schedule.
Now, that's starting to sound complicated.
Well, it can be, but some vehicles have an oil life calculator that takes all of these factors into account and tells you when you should change your oil. Otherwise, you could talk to your service advisor about how you drive and get her recommendation for when to take care of your service. And finally, if any of the steering or suspension parts can be lubed, your technician will take care of that with a lube, oil, and filter service.
All right. Thanks, Brittany. I'll never refer to it as a simple oil change again.